All right, everybody. I'm sorry. That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. So I'm a retired captain out of Durham Police Department in North Carolina. And it wasn't until I was facing retirement that I thought about what I wanted to do after I retired. So I was young to be retiring. I was 52 at the time, and I knew I wanted to do something else. So that something else got me into the financial services industry. And since being in the financial services industry, there have been many things I have learned and realized the mistakes I have made along the way. Since working with different clients at different stages of their lives, it got me to thinking about retirement and life planning. So, when you're in your 20s and your 30s, retirement is important. However, many other things are also happening. So, I wanted to talk about the perspective of life planning. What is life planning? What does it mean for you? And that's what I'll be talking about today. So there's so much information to think about. There is a ton of information out there. So being in the financial service industry has been eye-opening and telling. There are so many points of views on different things. So there's lots of information out there on the web. It can be difficult to determine who to listen to, what advice to follow. So what I will challenge you to think about is this: whatever you do, it should always make sense to you. You must be able to explain what you're doing to anyone who asks. It can be in layman's terms. It doesn't have to be, just kind of high level thinking. It doesn't have to be in the weeds, but you need to be able to do that for yourself. So my goal is to make this simple for you to understand. I have 3 secrets that can lead you to creating your life plan. So, how to deal with financial challenges that you will encounter. I hope you're prepared to take notes. So, some financial challenges. So, what I call common financial pitfalls. So, pretty much is spending more than you earn. Many people, struggle with their monthly expenses exceeding their income. This imbalance often leads to reliance on credit cards and making savings for the future rather difficult. So, even for that rainy day, or can be nearly impossible for you to do. So, solution: creating a simple budget that can help you bring your cash flow into balance. While budgeting may seem restrictive, it can actually simplify your finances and makes everyday spending decisions easier. So, then you've got that lack of emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Unexpected events like job loss, car repair, or medical emergencies can quickly derail your finances if you don't have savings to fall back on. So, my solution for that is aim to build an emergency fund with at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Even a small reserve of $1,000 can help you avoid relying on credit cards or loans during financial emergencies. Carrying credit card debt or carrying credit card balances. Credit cards can be both valuable financial tool and a potential trap. High interest rates make purchases significantly more expensive over time, and relying too much on credit increases the likelihood of spending beyond your means. So the solution to that is paying off your balance to full each month whenever possible. So whenever possible. And if you already have a or if you already carry a balance, focus on paying more than the minimum to reduce the interest costs. Next piece of this is the burden of student loans. I know lots of people have them. Large student loan payments can limit your ability to buy a home, invest, or save. While it may be tempting to defer payments, this often results in paying significantly more in interest over time. The student loan industry, man, is something. It's got a lot of pitfalls to it. So the solution around that is this: consider paying extra each month, even if it's just $20 or $100. Every additional payment helps to reduce that interest, because that's the killer. You might start off with a single digit, but you bump into double digits later. and it shortens the repayment period. Not saving enough for retirement. Retirement may seem far away. If you're your 20s, your 30s, when you start to hit your 40s, things shift and change. But the earlier you start saving, the easier it is to build a long-term wealth. So thanks to compounding interest, where your earnings generate more earnings over time. So even a small contribution can grow significantly. So the solution to this, if you're not saving enough, is this: contribute to a retirement plan consistently. Even if it's just a small amount each month, the key is to start early and to let time work in your favor. So this is the part where we're going to be interactive. So I have 4 questions, and you need to determine if it is a money myth or a financial fact. And I will explain all 4. So, got your pen and paper? Here we go. Number 1, is owning a home a good investment? Number 2, banks or are banks the best place for your safe money to be in? Number 3, paying in cash is best? Is paying in cash best? And number 4, if you get money back on your taxes each year, is that a great return on your investment? All right. So are we ready for the answers? Here you go. So for question 1, is owning a home a good investment? So I'm going to say this: that depends on who you ask. But for the most part, it is a money myth. And there are 6 reasons why. So the first myth, or the first reason why it's a myth, is because a house as an asset. An asset is something you own, while a liability is debt. So a home, is a home an asset or a liability? And the answer is it's both. Yes, you can sell your home and hopefully make that profit, which is the asset. But as long as you have a lien on that property, it's a liability, because the mortgage company is owning your home, or the bank that owns your home, that is their asset and not yours. Myth number 2, you won't be sorry that you bought it. Well, right now we're in a seller's market. So there tends to be sometimes called buyer's remorse, which can be common. So nearly 2/3 of millennials regret buying a home. Over half, like 51%, feel stress or anxiety about home ownership. So a lot of times when people are thinking about when to buy their home, they don't think about all the other things that come to home ownership. So number 3, myth number 3, is paying rent is just throwing away your money. Not necessarily. It can actually be a actually a smart financial choice depending on what your situation is and what you have going on. So, for some people, renting allows them a little more flexibility as opposed to owning a home based on their circumstances and situation. Myth number 4, everyone is buying except me. Is that FOMO? Or, yeah, that fear of missing out. Only buy when you're ready to buy. So I'm going to say this. I recently listened to a podcast with a gentleman named Sanjay Singh. I think I'm saying his name right. Anyway, what he talked about was you shouldn't buy a home. And the reason why he said you shouldn't buy a home was because a home ownership comes with so many other things. You've got to have the down payment. You've got to have the money to move from place to your new home. You've got to have this and you've got to have that. And so it's not just buying the home, it's all the other things that come with it. So he said, if you're not prepared for that, then that's not something you should think about or do. Myth number 5, a house is a better investment than the stock market. And I'm going to say that is definitely a myth, because those is like comparing apples and oranges, 2 very different things. Home ownership is about living in a place that you want to own and that's yours. The stock market is an investment piece. Homes can be investments if you're renting them out, but under the circumstances, if they're your home and that you're trying to live in, That's really like comparing apples and oranges, and they don't do the same things. So the last myth, which is myth number 6, mortgage interest is tax deductible. While yes, mortgage interest and property tax may be deductible if you itemize, on average, most people usually deal with or use the standard deduction for taxes. It's just that you get a flat rate, and unless you want to itemize, it may be more it may be better to use the standard deduction tax as opposed to itemizing. So now that we've gone through that, the 6 myths, we all know that home ownership is a money myth. So number 2, are banks the best place for your safe money? And that is a financial fact. Yes, they are. They're safe because they have the FDIC, which up to $250 will cover your money. Number 3, is paying cash best? That is a financial fact. All I'm going to say is cash is king. If you haven't heard it, know it. Cash is going to it's always going to outweigh. Because if you come in to purchase a home, for instance, and you got cash, well, the person who has the cash is always going to beat out the person with the loan, generally speaking. And number 4, that is getting money back on your taxes each year a greater return on your investment? And the answer, it is a money myth. You want to know why? If you receive a fund from the IRS, that means that you gave them a loan, essentially an interest-free loan, for them to do whatever they were going to do with your money. So if you get money back at the end of a year from now, so April 15th or after April 15th filing taxes, you basically just kind of lost out. So thank you for participating with that money myth or financial facts. All right. And my question is, how many of you got it correct? So let's talk about what to expect. So for this, we're talking about something most of us know how to do and may not do. There are so many books out there on this particular topic, and people still find it hard to do. Lots. And they just find it. Lots of books. And then thirdly, some of the most of us have dealt with or need to get rid of. There's something that most of us have dealt with or need to get rid of. And so I'm going to talk about those 3 things in the next 3 secrets. So are you ready? What I reveal will help you towards creating that financial plan and use whatever available to control your life and manage financial concerns. So on to secret number 1. How this one strategic move can help you grow your wealth. All right, secret 1, saving money. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. So I know saving money is nothing new. Most of us attempt it with some success, while others are not so successful. So I know we all know that saving money helps move us towards our goals in terms of creating wealth, saving for retirement, for that emergency fund. But what happens if most of your funds are already accounted for? So how do you save money then? So if you could grow money on trees, or if you could print money in your backyard, that'd be great. However, that's not the reality. So there's some suggestions for generating more money. You can earn extra cash. You can stop paying overage on credit card debt, which makes, basically ending those high interest rates, endless payments, and constant stress. And then you can also do something where you make up to what, $1,000 a month with simple online tasks. So there are other things that you can think about, other jobs that help you make additional money. Your side hustle. So, in keeping with the saving monies, I want to challenge you to think about how to save money. So everybody loves a challenge. Maybe some people don't, but challenges are cool to do. You got the 100 envelope challenge. Basically, you get to put money aside for 100 days, and whatever, from $1 to $100, whatever you can put into that envelope for 100 days, and to see what you accumulate. And the next one is like the 52-week challenge. So um that's basically where you save weekly. So you decide to deposit either $1 or whatever you decide to deposit, but you start off with $1 for week one, then week two you deposit $2, and then week three. So you increase every week by $1. And then by the time you hit week 30, you have initially around $500. So that's how that challenge works. Next one is spending no spend challenge. Well, basically, that's a fast track to savings by cutting unnecessary spending for 30 days. So that means avoiding the non essentials like takeout, coffee runs, online shopping, that kind of thing. And then you have the retirement. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. Then you have the 1% retirement challenge. And basically, that's to boost your retirement savings by 1%. So every time you get an increase in your salary, just add 1% every time you get that increase. And then the last one is the cancellation challenge. And that is basically canceling unused subscriptions to, recover money that you have been spending on that. So small, consistent actions can lead to big financial wins. All right, secret number 2. One bold move to map out your life plan. It's goal setting. Everybody's heard about it. It's not a secret. Sometimes it's easy to do, sometimes it's not. There's lots of information out on goal setting, and it's a lot of information out on goal setting. However, you just got to figure out what's going to work best for you. But what goal setting allows you to do is it allows you to focus on your career, your relationship, health, and personal development. And so when you're thinking about goal setting, be smart, be specific, which clearly defines what you want to achieve, be measurable. So you're going to set a metric or measure, how you're going to track your progress. Make it achievable. Make sure your goal is realistic and attainable. Because if it's not, it's a real bummer when you can't attain it. Make it relevant. So make sure the goals align with what your values are and what your overall objective is. And then the last is time bound. So you're going to set a time period. What's the length of time is it going to take you to do whatever that goal is that you're trying to set? So this is my section called Believe It or Not. Believe it or not, goal setting is essential to achieving the life you want. Yes, I know you've heard this before. Here's the thing. Goal setting can help you identify what you value and how those values shape your overall goals. It's a powerful tool for creating, planning, and implementing your life plan. So it's not just about finances. While finances are crucial for achieving tangible goals, imagine the freedom of not having to stress about money. So allowing you to focus on meaningful, tangible, intangible aspects of life. We're on to secret number 3. So, secret number 3. I'm sorry, I skipped that little part. How to make your money work for you. And how do we do that? Paying off your debt. See the theme? All of them saving your money, goal setting, paying off your debt. Did you know there are 2 types of debt? There's good debt. That's the first one. And so good debt is referred to borrowing that has the potential to improve your financial situation or enhance your quality of life. And there are characteristics that go with good debt. As you see, I've described what good debt is. You've got education loans, mortgage loans, business loans, and investment in real estate. However, the characteristics of good debt are low interest rates. So, which relatively, it allows you to be able to purchase more when you have low interest rates. And then appreciating assets. is tied to assets or investments that are likely to grow in value over time. And the last piece of this is potential for return. So, good debt offers a clear path to financial benefits, such as an increase in income or the asset's growth. Now, let's talk about bad debt because that is the second one. Bad debt. So, most of you know what bad debt is. We tend to think it's usually credit cards, um, car loans, payday loans, retail financing. So there are characteristics that go with bad debt, and they are your high interest rates as opposed to low interest rates. So when you have high interest rates, if you get behind on those payments, those things tend to pile up because of the high interest rates. And so that's what leads borrowers to kind of get into trouble with those high interest rates. So depreciating assets. Basically, they're losing value over time. So when you purchase a car and you drive it off the parking lot, it's already depreciating the moment you leave. And the next thing is no return on investments. So that basically what that means is that you're not going to get any kind of profit or gain on that particular investment because it's characterized as bad debt. So those are the three secrets. And I know what you're thinking. And yes, there's a lot more to this. What if I told you the easiest way to create all of that? But before I go there, I want to ask you a question. I like this picture. Are you going to be like the ladies in the back row enjoying? They're not looking like they're enjoying the ride. They're actually looking pretty salty. Unlike the ladies in the front row who are enjoying the ride. And isn't life about enjoying the ride? So if you get your finances in order, that allows you to enjoy as you move, go on in this life. All right, so this is your opportunity to take control of your finances and to create a future that you want. This can all happen with you taking the first step to ensure your financial future. So, I have a program that I'm selling or will be selling around April 1st. It won't be released until then. However, I just want to talk about some of the things that you get access to. So, I have a checklist. And basically, that checklist provides information on what I call the five lives of retirement. But that is from a gentleman named Charlie Jewett, who I pulled that information from. It'll also talk to you about how to create your financial support team, and it actually has an amazing estate planning checklist. It's pretty cool. Also, with this program, you get a workbook. And the workbook is connected and has calculators that go along with it. So, what the workbook will do is it'll walk you through the process of planning your life plan and the things that you need to think about. It's going to really challenge you on some stuff, and the calculators actually coincide with that. The third piece that you'll get access to is the Trello board. And so what I love about the Trello board is it's pretty much a one-stop. It's like a one-stop shop. Everything is on this one page. It's going to talk to you about your life plan. It has lots of additional information, and I also have some continual use to it. Once you use it for that, you can continue to use it over and over again. And there's a bonus. The first 10 people, 10, can get a 30-minute meeting with me. And usually, if you meet with me for an hour, it's about 125. And then there's another bonus. I have the life insurance info page. And that talks about life insurance and what's important about it and why it's important. And so I am pre-selling, but like I said, it won't be available until April 1st. So if you work with me, that'll give you the opportunity to get programmed and talk with me if you're the first 10. But what I want to say is join my Facebook group. Join my Facebook group. If you're interested, you can DM me. And then once it's ready to drop, I'll send you the information. But this is my Facebook group. It's called Your Foundation for Finances. And that's pretty much the end of what we got to talk about today. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, April. Oh my goodness. Day 2. That was good. That was good.
Yeah. Any questions? I was trying to, pay attention to time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
great job. Okay. If people are watching the replay, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comments. Or even connect with April on April, how can they connect with you?
Oh, they can connect with me at my website, which you can then, fill out some information. It is zelkinfinancial.com. So I'm going to spell the Zelkin for you. Z is in zebra, E is in Edward, L is in Lincoln, K is in King, E is in Edward, N is in Nora, financial.com. And that's
Amen.
and also join the because that's the easiest way to get to me too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, join her Facebook group, send her a DM. Um, like I said, you have a wealth of knowledge, especially when it comes to finances. And, you know, I mean, I'm buzzing with questions, especially with the house thing, right? Is it an asset? Is it not an asset?
Yeah,
So I really appreciate that one. I was like, okay. Yeah, because something so right now is a seller's market.
it is. Oh, very much so.
Okay, not a
So
buyer's. So
I'm
basically
gonna tell you
interest rates are still up, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story about the sellers market. So
Okay.
probably sometime last year, around the summer, I was thinking about purchasing a home, and I went in and I found a place, and there were like 11 people that put in for it, and somebody came in with a cash offer, and they came in not only with a cash offer, but they offered that person like $100,000 over the asking price.
Wow. Okay. So does that mean interest rates are low currently or high?
Well, after it wasn't was it last year or the year before? I'm sorry, y'all. You know my time. Time is it's going by pretty fast. It was 2023, so the interest rates were still low at that point.
Okay.
But even now, I mean, the interest rates are high, and people are still they're still buying, and there's still like a bidding war on homes. So I hadn't really stopped. I hadn't stopped anything.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, April, thank you so much. You guys already know how to connect with April. Love the lead magnets. So if you want the workbooks, sign up to her email list. I'll put her link in the chat as well. The workbooks are golden. So, and thank you so much, everyone that's watched the replay or watched us here in Monetizing Mompreneurs. All right, April. Well, thank you. I'll catch you later then. Bye,
All right.
everyone.
Bye bye.